It's November 27th, and the strange side of history awaits. Today, we have a cursed manuscript, a fortune that rewrote history, and a betrayal drenched in blood. Let's begin. On November 27, 1924, visitors stepped into the National Library of Sweden expecting a simple exhibition. What they found instead felt ancient, heavy, and wrong. For the first time, the public was allowed to stand before the Codex Gigas, a book so massive it required 2 people just to lift it. Some whispered of its darker nickname, the Devil's Bible. At first glance, it looked like any medieval manuscript, but the longer you stared at it, the more unsettling it became. Its pages, made from skins of nearly 200 animals, were impossibly uniform. The ink never fades, the handwriting never shifts, not even slightly from the first to the last page. No corrections, no hesitation marks, no signs of failure. Experts immediately noticed something strange. It looked as if it had been written in one continuous burst, by a single hand, no breaks, no changes, no inconsistencies. The book is so large and detailed, such a feat should have taken decades, even with teams of scribes, yet everything points to just one writer. As the public stepped closer, some reported a feeling like the book was watching them back. Others said the air felt heavier, colder, as if the room itself was holding its breath. Scholars still debate how the Codex was created. Was it the obsessive work of a monk isolating himself for years, or something far stranger? 1,000 years after its creation, the Codex remains flawless, immense, and deeply unnatural. Scientists continue to examine the manuscript, but every answer uncovers even more questions. On November 27, 1895, a wealthy inventor sat alone in a quiet Paris apartment, staring at a document that would change how the world would remember him. The room was dim, only the flicker of a lamp, and the weight of a reputation he never asked for. Alfred Nobel picked up a pen with a trembling hand, not because of the fortune he was about to give away, but because of the reason behind it. Years earlier, a French newspaper had made a shocking mistake. They published his obituary while he was still very much alive. The headlines labeled him the Merchant of Death. They mourned not the man, but the weapons he made. They blamed him for the destruction he never intended, and they wrote about his legacy as if he was already dead. For Nobel, reading his own death notice was like a glimpse in the future, dark and twisted, but horribly real. Then, it reshaped him. With careful strokes, he signed his will, dedicating nearly all his wealth to a new kind of prize. Awards for peace, for science, for literature. A legacy built not on explosions, but the ideas and humanity. Some say the room felt different as he signed it, still heavy, as if it wasn't just rewriting a will, but rewriting his fate. This was the birth of the Nobel Prize, and it was born not from glory or ambition, but from a man terrified by the story the world had already written about him. Talk about taking your fate into your own hands. On November 27th, in the year 602, the Eastern Roman Empire awoke to a day that felt cursed, as the air over Constantinople had turned cold and hollow. Emperor Maurice, once celebrated as a disciplined, intelligent ruler, found himself dragged from the throne he had spent decades protecting. His empire was fractured under rebellion, and now betrayed by his own troops, he was brought to the shore of the Bosporus to face a new usurper, Pocus, a soldier who rose through violence and fear. Maurice was forced to witness the downfall of everything he held dear. His sons, symbols of stability, heirs to centuries of Roman rule, were taken from him one by one. The new regime wanted him to understand that his dynasty was finished. Maurice didn't beg. He whispered a final prayer, one that historians say felt less like faith and more like a curse placed upon a man who had stolen his crown. And then it was over, just a fallen empire, swallowed by the machinery of violence, erased in a single morning. The eerie part was yet to come. Pocus, the man who initiated the purge, would go on to rule in constant paranoia, haunted by conspirators, uprising, and whispers that Maurice's dying words had marked him. His reign became one of the darkest in the Byzantine history. Maurice's final moments didn't just end a dynasty, they cast a shadow over the empire, one that would haunt every ruler who followed. Another day, another strange bite from history. Like, comment, and subscribe. Your next eerie dose is just a day away.